Welcome to Discussions with Dee Dee Parker. We are back. Boy, gotta love IG. Anyway, we'll get back into it. What up, got you open ENT? You're the first one back. I was already on here, but we're back again. Hey, Sheb, I apologize that we'll get back into it. I'll break down the topic, so bear with me 1 second. Got you open ENT, and we'll jump right back into it. Hey, once again, I wanted to say Happy Mother's Day to all my mothers out there, all of my stepmoms, my mom's moms, foster moms, bonus moms, fur baby moms. If you celebrated yesterday, Happy Mother's Day to you once again. And I hope you enjoyed it. Yes, nothing like the mamas. My mama would be my mama in every lifetime. If I had to do this all over again, I would want her to be my mama again. But yes, so once again, Happy Mother's Day to all the mamas. All right, please bear with me and wait for the other folks, because we had some folks on here to hop back on before we get into this topic. Actually, we'll just get into it and then other folks can catch up. All right, so a man refuses, got you opening until he said, yes, indeed, bless Mother's Day to you all. All right, so let's get back into it. Discussions with Dee Dee Parker. Man refuses to propose because girlfriend has $90,000 in debt. Hey, fat mama. He said, I make $250K. I have no debt. So work on that first. So he wants her to basically, I guess, clear up this debt before he decides he proposes to her. Is she cooked? Is it over for her? And what are your thoughts on this? I'm not even going to ask you if this man is right or wrong, because he makes $250K. He said, work on your debts first. Got you open ENT said, not mad at him. How could you be? Hey, fat mama. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Welcome to Discussions with Dee Dee Parker. This is my podcast that goes on to YouTube. So I was telling the folks earlier, we're almost at 200 for my YouTube folks that play this back. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. And let's get to this 200, please, and thank you. Sheb said that's good for her to work on her bills. Hey, Doopski, mama, new folks, welcome. I apologize. We got kicked off, but hopefully everybody can hear me. Man refuses to propose because girlfriend is $90,000 in debt. He makes $250K. He said, I have no debt, so work on that first. So I guess he called in, or a woman called into this David Ramsey show. Not familiar with his show. And detailed how she needed help with getting out of $90,000 in debt in order to earn her wedding ring and financial trust of her partner before marriage. She said, I guess he already pays all of the bills and wants her to use her money to become debt-free before marriage. Okay. He's willing to work with her. I'm just saying, because I asked the ladies a question and I'll ask it again. Ladies, if the shoe was on the other foot and he treats you like a queen, gives you everything you want, okay? You don't have to ask for nothing. But he's $90,000 in debt. How many of y'all are going to give this man a chance to do what this man just did? I mean, he's not saying he's not willing to marry her. Got you opening and he said, fact, Chev. He said, file bankruptcy. Mama said, depends on what type of debt. Got you opening and he said, right, LOL. Chev said he don't want to take over her bills. I mean, I get it. I get he doesn't want to take over her bills. And if he's paying all the bills, I don't see why this should be so complicated. Why hasn't she already been working to try to get out of this debt? Why was she I'm just saying, if he's already paying all the bills, you should have been stacking money, sis. So I get that part. That's, Somebody said they live together and he pays all the bills. Should she pay her debt off? He is already supporting her. Knock it out, girlfriend. I'm just saying, he pays all the bills. Why weren't you using your money already to pay down your debt? I'm just saying. Mama said she might have a spending addiction. And I asked my ladies a question. I'm still waiting for my ladies to respond. Well, Mama already responded in the other one, but respond on this one again, Mama. Because this is the one I'll probably drop for YouTube. But, I mean, ooh. Do they have a shopping anonymous for women like that who are addicted to shopping? Because they have everything. They have like an alcohol anonymous. And they have stuff when you have a drug addiction. Do they have stuff when you are a shopaholic? I used to be a shopaholic, child. But baby, not in this economy. Not when gas is, whew. I ain't never seen gas, and I live in Georgia. I've never seen gas $4 in Georgia. Never in my life. I moved to Georgia in 2002. I'm sorry, I don't mean to change the subject. 2002, gas was literally probably, I believe, when I first moved here, it had to be like 90 cents a gallon. And I thought that was expensive. Maybe I would never complain if gas went back to 90 cents a gallon. Anyway, sorry, y'all. I just had to take a moment because things is high out here. Got you up and she said no. Why I am paying her debt, and why am I paying her debt and I pay everything already? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying he already, right. She should have been using her money to pay down her own damn debts. And yes, they do. Oh, okay. I didn't know they had a shopping anonymous like class. Mama said, hell no, unless he got a high paying job. She said, Mama said, I am not taking a man who is $90,000 in debt. Sheb said, yeah, she should, she should have been making payments, or she should have been doing something to, and now you want to put this burden on him. But I mean, what up, Hefe? He ain't breaking up with her. Because, I mean, he could break up with her. So he's giving her a chance to make it right. F.A. And we're talking about a man is refusing to propose to his girlfriend. She's $90K in debt. He makes $250K. So, but the gag is he pays all of the bills. He just wants her to clear up the debt before they decide to get married, or before he decides to marry her. So I'm getting y'all thoughts on this today. Got you opening into said now like 05, 06, high grade gas was like 5 and change at the time. I had a lane, was it? It was 90 cents, and that was for like premium gas. I'm bringing FA on. Mama said it depends on the debt. If it's a home or a reasonable debt, it's okay. Fat Mama said, I'm sticking beside my man, just gonna make sure he handle his business. Okay, Fat Mama, I like that. So FA, before you got on here, because did you hear what we were talking about?
I just heard what you just said about 90K and that.
Okay, so a woman had called in because she was trying to get her debt resolved. She's 90K in debt in order to earn her wedding ring and financial trust of her partner before they got married. So he pays all the bills, but he just wants her to use her money to become debt free before they get married. So I asked the ladies how many women would still talk if a man came to them and said, "Hey, I'm 90K in debt, but he's a good man, you know." Everything else is handled. He's just 90K in debt. Would they still talk to them? Mama said, hell no. But then she said it depends on what kind of debt that he's in. Fat Mama said she's sticking by her man. She's just going to make sure he handles his business. And Chef said once they get married, it's their debt. Yeah, facts. All right, F. So what are your thoughts on this here?
What are you asking me? Do I think women would?
No, you could get both perspectives. I mean, what do you think about this?
Yeah, and that man, I'm just trying to figure out how they get 90K in debt. I need to know how you got 90K. I'm kind of with your mother on what type of debt is it? Like, how did you get 90? Is it credit card bills? You know what
So
I'm saying? Like,
you wouldn't give her this alternative? Like he's giving her an alternative to clear her debt up. And I'm like, well, if he's already paying all the bills, she should have been trying to clear this debt up. No, I'm just saying.
exactly. And I think difference is, I guess my dating style, I asked questions very early on. So I wouldn't be at a stage of marriage and then finding that out or whatever. I'm like, month one, I'm like, what's your credit score? You know what I mean? Like, let me see it. Like, do you have money? And once we get intimate and it starts to, we progress, then I start progressing with my questions. Like, do you have money saved? Like, you don't have to tell me the amount, but do you have more than 10,000? Do you have, like, I'm gonna ask questions like that. You know what I mean? Do you have any debt? If anything, other than student loans or whatever. So, looking at it like it's kind of hard for me to answer because I wouldn't get that far. And I guess just finding out, but let's just say hypothetically, I did.
Hmm.
Because to me it says a lot because it's like something about your character that you got 90,000 into debt. And depending on why, maybe you started a business and it didn't and it failed. Okay, that's something different.
Okay.
But if you just buying red bottoms and Gucci and just running it up, then it's like okay, I wouldn't rock with that. But well, it depends on attitude though. Like if you had that mentality, like man, that was my past. I mean, like I've learned from that. That was very stupid. I'm working on myself. I'm gonna pay this off. That's something I'll never do again. That was yada yada yada. But
Yeah.
then to me, that would have been something she should have been doing from the beginning. Why she just walking around with this like, I mean, at least file bankruptcy, do something. Like, you know what I mean? Do something. Like, but
That file bankruptcy. Sheb, Mama said right, that's their problem. Sheb said it could be tuition and shopping. Hey, Miss Shanika, if you still on here. Mama said, what if he got married, saved, but gambles his money? So, what is her question? She wanted to find out, I guess, a way to come up with $90,000 to get out of this debt. This lady. That's why her whole reasoning why she called into this radio
ain't no
show.
way. Tell her to file bankruptcy. That's the only way she gonna be able to do it.
If he's paying all the bills, I don't understand why she can't make payments towards this debt.
To be honest with you, if he paying all the bills, I don't know why the fuck she would pay it anyway. I just file bankrupt. Have fucked up credit for 5 years or 6 years and start over. I mean, to me, paying 90K off when you got a secure like this man willing to marry you, then you don't really need credit at this point. You know what I mean? At this point, your credit is not really necessary if he's paying all the bills. I would do a reset. If I was her, I would tell her like, I'm about to do a reset because if you bust your ass to pay off 90K, I'd rather you file bankruptcy and bust your ass to save 90K
Right. As
than to
opposed
pay it or to just giving it to them for what? Like, you know what I mean? Like you such in a hole and you got security, you got a man that want to marry you and pay all your bills. You better off just starting over and not giving them nothing. Call it a loss. I fucked up credit for 7 years or six
yeah.
years, 5 years, whatever it is, and just start over. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. Somebody said a woman would marry a man with this much debt, so that's fair. Well, I asked there's some ladies that said they would ride it out with a man. Fa, would you ride it out?
Well, no, not if I met her with 90K. Not if I met her with 90K debt. Ride it out implies we already have a connection. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, if my wife got into 90K debt today, which is impossible, but like, let's just say somehow, yeah, but I think it's a little different if you're married. But how about this? Before we got married, we was in a serious relationship. She
Yeah.
got us a 90K and we was already trending that way. Yeah, I would ride it out with her, but it would have to be for a responsible reason though. Like, it can't be because she was buying Gucci, Louis, and Prada. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because then I got questions
I
about
mean,
if I want to marry you.
yeah, it doesn't say what she spent the 90K on. I mean, that is a solid question. But he makes 250K. He could, and then I got to play devil's advocate a little bit
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
He could. You make 250K. He could give her the money to clear up the debt, so she could be done with it.
No, he couldn't because it's going to 50K after taxes, probably about 60 of that. So you might walk away with like 180. Then he gonna pay Medicaid and medical insurance, and I'm sure he got a retirement because he's making that much money. So you're gonna drop off another 25,000. So he probably walking away with 150, right? And out of that 150, he paying all the bills. Got car insurance, he got mortgage, you got this. Out of that 150, he might be able to save 20,000 a year if he disciplined. It's like, he disciplined his bread, but he ain't
I'm
just got 90K to give her.
very disciplined with his money. I'm sure he has a nice say. Again, I'm playing devil's advocate because, uh, yeah, I'm with. I don't know. I don't even know. I'm gonna be real. If I would even 90K is a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of money to just give
Ah,
away. It's too
yeah.
much to pay off. For me, it's not worth it. How about this? I can have $200,000 saved up, and I'm not giving them 90K.
Would you? So you would rather file for bankruptcy?
Yes. Yeah, I'm talking about it's it, it's the smart thing to do. That's what people with money do. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They get to a
I,
point and they just say, you know what, I'm starting over.
I know black people have a bankruptcy stigma. They don't like. Ooh, that's like no bankruptcy. No, we're not doing that.
Yeah, but you ain't got no money. First place. You ain't got no money. I don't even understand. I'd rather be laughed at for going bankrupt. That's what one. That's because black people are not educated on finance. They don't know what bankruptcy means. Bankruptcy doesn't mean you don't have any money all the time. There
Right.
are billionaires that file bankrupt under companies or different things. That don't mean they broke. Trust me, they're not broke. They still have a lot of money.
No, bankruptcy is a good if you have
It's a
to
tool.
bankruptcy. Yeah, cool. Mama said, right, Fa, you're gonna be paying interest on that 90K. Not sure she would ever get out of it. Um,
Oh
and Mama
God.
said, he paying all the bills. How? I don't know. I'm just curious on what the 90 because what if it is for tuition? She went to school.
I don't think, but then a lot of people end up in that type of debt, and that wouldn't student loan debt is not the same. It's a lot of people, especially like people that went and got doctorates and master's degree, and I didn't have that higher level education, but all that letters, MDA, MBA, or whatever, all that stuff. Them
Yeah,
people, and they go to them prestigious schools, people be in 100, 200, $300,000 debt. That's like not uncommon. So that's not something. I don't look at that like real debt. That's student loans. That's not the same.
but
Even
if
though I
she just
wouldn't want you to have that much, I still wouldn't want you to have that much. But
yeah,
that wouldn't stop me from being with her.
there's so many questions. Like, is that credit card debt? Did you run up your credit card to 90K?
Exactly.
That's a lot. That's a lot of debt.
How did you get to 90K? Because
Yeah.
if you ain't got no money, how you gonna live it that high? Because what that really means is you know what I mean? You ran up to 30K and you ain't paid in months. And that motherfucker just been compounding and compounding. So you gotta pay 20% every month on the balance. You know what I'm
Over the
saying? Like that credit card debt is quicksand. It's like once you get in it, it's hard to get out. Like the credit card debt is the worst. It is
yeah.
the absolute worst. You know what I mean? That's the one debt I would rather you go take a I would rather
Go
you take a personal loan out on the bank, and because that you rather pay the credit card off and owe the bank on a personal loan. You don't want to fucking owe credit card debt. It is the worst. Trust me. I remember I had I didn't have as much money then. This is probably like maybe 10 years ago, and I ran my shit up to like 25,000. And I remember realizing making $1,000 payment a month was not making a dent
yeah.
in that month.
Yeah.
And I was giving them 1,000 and it was not changing shit. I was
Yeah.
like, no, man, for years. I will be paying this for years. You know what I'm saying?
So did you file for bankruptcy then? You was like,
No, no, no. Thank God I had, came up on the lake. And I just had a opportunity. You know what I mean? I just came up on an opportunity where I was able to drop like 15 on it and then it became manageable. And then when it got down to like 8,000, then that $1,000 a month kind of
start
was doable. Like it
okay.
started to make a dent, and I was able to pay it off maybe 6 months or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 90,000 credit card debt is wild. I hope that's crazy work right there. Mama said black people better be on board. Why do it all the time? And she said you can't file for bankruptcy for student loans.
Yeah, yeah,
If
for student loans. Yeah,
that is just a trick to keep you in bond. And yeah, yeah, bondage. Yeah,
yeah,
it
I wouldn't do it.
what? Yeah. I mean, like I said, FA, at least he's willing to work with her. Cause like how many of us would honestly take somebody else's debt on?
Most women ain't get with no nigga. Listen, remember I told you this. Women ain't gonna do it. Well, modern day women do it. They ain't gonna do it. And or modern day thinking women ain't gonna do it because a lot of those women already want I call them turnkey. They want a turnkey. You know how you got a turnkey house
Yeah.
where it's turnkey, everything's already done and updated and no renovations needed. That's how they want their men. They want men that's already turnkey. They graduated. They already in their career. They already got a 401k portfolio. They want niggas to already be 100% legit. Already have money. But then they will happily come with nothing. That's why it's just so funny to me. Like the mentality.
Welcome to Discussions with Dee Dee Parker. We were chatting about a man refusing to propose to his girlfriend because she's 90K in debt. He makes 250K. He says he has no debt. He wants her to clear up her debt first. So he's not refusing to marry her. She called into a radio show trying to figure out how she can clear her 90K debt. Some of the folks have filed for bankruptcy, but again, not sure of what this whole story is because I don't know what kind of debt it is. I don't know if it's like student loan debt, but she's in 90K debt or if this is just like straight credit card debt. Because if this is straight credit card debt, child, that's a lot of debt to be in. And then I asked my ladies, would they consider marrying a guy that was 90K in debt? So I had some ladies that say they would stay, and then I had some ladies that said they would not. So and then I had FA on here. I'm not sure if he'll reconnect or not. Um, and he was saying it depends. And like Mama was saying, hey, mentality of a goddess, it depends on the debt. So that's what we've been chatting about. What are your thoughts on this? Man refuses to propose because his girlfriend is 90K in the hole, in the debt. Hey, boo. I don't know if you're a mom, but if you are, happy belated Mother's Day. He makes 250K. He has no debt. And plus he pays all of the bills. So I was a little curious. I'm like, well, if he's paying all of the bills, like why wasn't she trying to clear this debt up, while he's paying all of the bills? What up, Healing Hurt Ministries? So that was just my thing and wanted to know you guys' thoughts. I mean, I'm not even going to ask you if this man is justified in his actions because, baby, like I asked the ladies, if the shoe was on the other foot and a man came to you and said he was 90K in debt, would you still talk to him? This man is still giving his woman a chance. She's 90K in debt. But he wants her to clear up her debts first before he pops the question. Okay, thanks. Yep, two little things that eat chicken nuggets. All chicken. This is right up your alley right here. So what are you guys' thoughts? I mean, I'm not mad at this brother. For not wanting to take on. Hey,
Hey,
boo.
hey, hey.
Happy belated Mother's Day to you,
Oh,
beautiful.
I appreciate you, beautiful. Thank you.
You are welcome. I hope you enjoyed your day.
Girl, I appreciate you. I have life expertise on this matter.
Okay, let's hear it, girl.
So, whew, I asked my husband before. I was like, "Can I have this conversation?" He said, "Yeah." So,
Okay.
how long have I been married? Do you know the years I've been married?
It's over 20 years, right?
Girl, no, I ain't that old.
Oh, I thought, okay, how long? I'm sorry.
No, I've known my husband over 20 years because we
Okay.
met because his brother got murdered in the city of Inglewood. So I sang at his funeral. That's the backstory. And I just wanted to be a friend. So me and my husband never dated. We were just friends. We went from friends, homies to wife and husband.
Okay.
But year one of marriage, girl, 15 is the total.
Okay. Okay.
Year one, I filed taxes with my husband.
Okay.
I get a letter in the mail from the IRS saying that they taking X amount of my money. I said, wait, I don't owe nobody. I'm never in debt.
Yeah.
What happened? And it tells you X, Y, and Z, who is it for, what debt got taken. I was living like, oh my God. But this is what I took on in this marriage. His debt became my debt. My anything became his became mine. It was an even exchange.
Yeah.
15 years later, oh, it was a student loan, excuse me, because he just texted to tell me
Oh, okay. Okay.
a student, what's them people that take the student loan? Hattie Mae came and got my money. I said,
Sally. Yeah.
Sally, Annie Mae, somebody's
Yeah.
bank account.
Sally Mae.
I ain't never been at nobody college. Give my money back, but it was my husband's debt. I said, if it's your debt, baby, we paid it, it's gone.
Okay. Okay. But he didn't tell you beforehand?
He didn't remember.
Okay.
We it was so long ago. And so if something forgets, you just gotta let it go because this happened again and it still wasn't my debt. And you know what I asked him? I said, if you would have told me you had that debt before we got married, would you think I would have married you? You know what his answer was?
What?
Yes. He said, and you would have helped me pay it off. I said, because that's the kind of person I am. If you let debt stop
Ooh.
you from your marriage, that is crazy. Because if
Ooh.
I was that man, no, this for real, because 92,000 is a stupid amount of debt, but I would tell her to file bankruptcy,
Mm-hmm.
tell her to enroll in the financial literacy so she can understand what borrowing power is and why you shouldn't get so overwhelmed in amounts that you can't pay back. Because a lot of people, they don't know better, but when you know better, you do better. If he loves her, he's going to educate his wife so she don't do that again.
Right.
Because he should teach her why it's important and how, because he stayed out of debt, so he should be teaching her how to do the same. And that's it.
That's a good
How you gonna teach him, baby?
That's a good story. But I did have some women on here that said, yeah, no, they're not sticking around. Hold on, let me read these comments. Mentality of a Goddess said, he is well within his rights. I don't blame him, especially if she has no plan on clearing it up. And she said, Fannie Mae and them. Was it Fannie Mae? Girl, it was one of the May.
Hey, Sally
Yeah.
Mae, May, I don't know, Ida May,
It
somebody's
was
name.
one of the Mays. But girls, so no, we did have some ladies, and then we did have some ladies that said that they would stick by their man's side and ride it out with them.
Well,
Um,
it's traditional, supposed to be.
we had FA on here, and FA kind of was like, well, it depends on what the debt is. Because Sheb brought up the point and said this could be student loan debt. But $90,000 in credit card debt, that's not crazy though. Healing Heart Ministries, Men's Ministries.
When your limit is up that amount, see, when you got buying power like that, you got cards that when they give you a credit limit,
Yeah.
it's in that big amount, yeah, you gonna swipe and keep on swiping till you can't swipe no more. American Express was an unlimited card that my husband had. And I love my husband because he's the very responsible one out of me and him.
Yeah.
And so I was like, man, I didn't mind that little debt because I didn't think it was going to be multiple of those debts. And it hasn't been because he didn't, it was so long ago when that student loan, I didn't know they catch up with bills. People will catch up and find you and you never know.
Girls, Sally Mae, Fannie Mae didn't play, baby. They
And
was tracking you down for them loans, and that
they,
they back to it though. So you guys stay dangerous, okay? Be safe out here.
but
Um,
if it's card debt, I would file bankruptcy because that's the freedom we get and they don't use it to their ability
yeah,
because to live off of his good credit until she builds hers up because it takes about 7 to 10 years, I believe, because they've changed stuff so much in the bankruptcy
I think
court.
it does. It takes about 7 to 10 to come
But
off.
in the meantime, they could live off. See, he's not thinking it through. He's just ridiculing her bad decision making. But if you love your wife, you're gonna guide her in the right way she should go. That's it.
But my thing about it is he's already come back if you want to. He's already paying all the bills already anyway. So I feel like, girl, why
Oh,
were you not using that money to help your situation? You feel me?
because she probably didn't know better. This is the thing. If you teach a man how to fish, they gonna fish every day. But if you feed them fish, they're not going to know how to do it themselves because you said it. Hand feeding somebody doesn't teach them how to do it. I'm sure he probably never sat her down like, baby, this is how. If seriously, if no one taught you how to do something, how would you know how to do
Girl, she knew how to rack up 90K. I'm just saying, hold on. Mama
it?
said,
Right
got
out of
Mama got a question for you, Healing Her Men's Ministry. She said, so are you saying that the man is wrong? And
what
welcome
I
back, FA.
is if he loves her, he will guide her the right way. Meaning that should not be a reason why he does not marry her. He should teach her though, file the bankruptcy. And again, I gave them a very sound advice. He could help her do the file the bankruptcy
Mm-hmm.
and live off of his credit until it comes back up. And that's two credits now together powerful, whatever they decide to do. I don't know their life. I don't even know who we're talking about, but I'm just what I would do because it's both together. Y'all one. We are one. What's
Yeah.
your because this the thing. I think a lot of us get comfortable with letting money be the reason of everything. Money is a tool. If you are debating your whole relationship over whose money is what, it gets crazy in this. Because just like the women who used to want to be Oprah rich,
Yeah.
happens when you're Oprah rich. You're now trying to tell your man what to do in there, right?
Some women do.
You know some the reason why us as women, and it's the truth, Dee Dee, we need to speak truth now so we can stop lying to ourselves and that we as women, as leaders, we have to be very, very strong in our emotions of keeping them together and not taking everything personal because that can determine how the outcome comes. But based on this man, do you really believe he loves his woman enough to leave her hanging dry? Because it sounds like he's not even trying to help her get to the debt out of the debt. He's just saying get rid of it before you get your hand in marriage. That don't make sense. That sound like what's the word?
So you saying you don't feel like he loves her then? Because if he loved her, he would be trying to give her a solution to the problem.
If he loves her, why would he want to marry a woman that don't know how to financially take care of stuff? If he's not teaching her, he can't get mad at it. But holding her hostage and her hand in marriage, it's like that's messed up. It's like he's punished
Oh,
for not knowing better and dangling the ring. If he knows, especially that's what she wants, that's messed up to me. I just think if he's going to marry her, marry her. But don't let her debt be the reason stopping him. That's all I'm saying. And that's
that's
I
my
got
between
thing though. You know
Hold
the
on,
only
FA. Hold
okay.
on, FA. Hold on. I want to reintroduce and then I want to get your opinions. Hold on one second. New folks, welcome Discussions with Dee Dee Parker, talking about a guy refusing to propose to his girlfriend because she's 90K in debt. He makes 250K. He has no debt, but he wants her to get that straightened out first. He does pay all of the bills, so she doesn't have to pay any of the bills. He just wants her to use the money for her debt. Mentality of a guy that said 90K in credit cards. That's what her debt is. I'm not 100% sure exactly what her debt is. I'm just speculating. She said he already pays the bills. She's not a wife yet. Mama said bankruptcy, your credit improves after 4 years. Mentality of a goddess is there more context? How long has he known about this debt? That I have questions too, because I want to know how long have you known about the 90K? And Mama said manipulation healing hurt men's ministry. All right, FA. You wanted to rebuttal?
Couple things. I was agreeing with hey, how you doing by the way? I was agreeing with you at first, but then I guess you were because we don't know much about the details, we kind of make an assumption. And I get it. And if that's the case, and I get it, but agree with you. And then I didn't agree with the part where you be like, if she don't know, then how would she know? Because she fucking grown. I don't
But a
understand
lot
why.
of babies.
What I'm saying is, I understand there's a lot of stupid people out here. No, I get it. I'm not denying that. What I'm saying is, just, I don't, and you're not the one that do this. So this is not actually about you. But I just never understand why it's so acceptable for a woman not know things and not have things together, and a man is like it's like socially okay for a man to lend a helping hand to this damsel in distress, but then it's so men are so ridiculed, like, oh, he's not, he don't got this, he don't got that, he's almost viewed as nothing, and no one comes into the situation like, oh, well, he doesn't know, how would he learn unless you tell him? It's like that's not the outlook on the man. You know what I mean? But that's neither here nor there. Let's get back to the original topic. The original topic is, yeah, I got questions because to me, it sounds like it's two lessons to be learned. He needs to learn that he should have been asking certain questions early in the relationship. That's one. Two, I would also say you might need to look into her character because how did she get in this debt? And secondly, why did she get all the way to this point and never told you? Because to me, that's a lie. She's actually lying to you. You know what I'm saying? By having such a like significant situation in her life and her not telling you this until now it's time to get married. Now she wanna or no. Or you have now gotten to the point where you now love her or whatever the case may be. And now she could be using the fact that you now love her now to drop these lows on you because it may be harder for him to leave now. So it ain't he could be sitting there like, and if I was his, I would be like, why she just telling you that now? Why is she now telling? Do you think it's a convenience and timing that she's now telling you now, in comparison to where it was? If you've been making 250,000, I'm pretty sure you've been making some money for a little while. So that means he probably been making good money the entire time. Is she not looking at you like a great catch and not wanting to tell you certain things because she doesn't want you to not be with her? So is that not a form of manipulation? She been lying the whole time. So I'm assuming she just revealed this to him. But on his side, he should have definitely answered these questions early on. Hey, listen, do you have any significant debt? What's your credit? I mean, if these are, especially if it's that important where he may not marry her because of it. If that was serious to you, then you should have why, just for your own feelings as a man. Why would you allow yourself to get to a position where you now love her and potentially deal with heartache, and because you're not willing to be with her because she got debt? Why even go through that? You should have asked that before you fell in love. And to end it, I think that shouldn't be a reason to not marry her. If it was a legitimate, like if it was like I don't know how you go 4 years and don't tell this nigga you got 90K in debt though. So I'm trying to figure out a way to. I'm just saying, like, if he did know about it, and I don't think that early on, I don't think that that should be a reason to not marry her, unless he had been giving her like, hey, listen, year one, you need to. And they had did this whole sit down and try to map out a plan, and she just wasn't, handling her business. That's another thing, but I don't think that that is enough to not marry a woman if you already knew. If you already knew, now you ain't got to marry her until she finish it. But you should. Like, I'm not gonna say, oh, you marry her with all of that. I'm not also saying that either. I'm saying like that shouldn't be a reason within yourself to be like, I'm gonna break this relationship on. You know what I mean? In my opinion, you can stall the marriage for a little while because marriage has business as I mean a financial aspect to it that you might just don't want to get into. But work through it. How about that?
Yeah.
Hold on, Healing Hurt Men's Ministry. Before you respond, we got some comments. Mentality of a Goddess said, okay, we don't have enough info to make a decision here because it can look like manipulation if he knew, but if he didn't know, she definitely deserves to wait. And it could also be that she was supposed to be paying it while he has been taking
Yeah,
care of the bills, but
yeah,
what hasn't? And Mama said, what if he knew and just not willing to marry her until she fixes it? And mentality of a
yeah.
guy. I would agree with him. She's not financially responsible yet.
Yeah.
Nah, she gonna mess him
Okay.
up even more, and then he gonna end up being in debt. But I'm telling you, putting her in a financial literacy teaches her like a lot of the things. Hefe, to answer your question, unfortunately, a lot of people weren't taught home economics. A lot of people weren't taught financial literacy. A lot of people weren't taught even how to balance a checkbook. They were just taught how to go in a room, go sit down, go do this. So children weren't really taught etiquettes of a lot of life. They were just taught survival mode. So you be surprised at adults that just age but never, how can I say this, learn the right way. And so when you educate people the right way, and that's what Healing Herd Men Ministry do, Happy. I do this for me. What I do is I ask them questions because I will never teach you what you already know. What I do is I grasp the energies of the areas you don't have expertise in, and we get you a mentor to help you so you understand. Because if you never learned how to tie your shoes, I can't get mad at you when your shoes are always untied. I can teach you how to tie them, but I can't get mad at you that you didn't learn because no one taught you. You have to teach a child so they know, but they grow older and they're just still confused. Men, I thought, were supposed to be providers. And so at 21, I had to provide for a family structure, my mother, because my parents separated. So I'm not a man. And my parents have 8 children other than myself. But I was the one still at home. So I took my father's responsibility, and you see what I'm saying? So I've always been responsible. It didn't matter. It was just I knew the family needs to be taken care of. So that's how I look at life. Family has to be taken care of no matter who's to blame in the mistake that was made. It seemed like this young lady's just very irresponsible financially. But if this man loves her, he's going to guide her so she don't get back in debt because he's debt free, eh?
Yes.
And so a man, if he loves her, maybe because this is weird to me though, because to say until you get your debt, I'm not gonna marry you. Maybe he going to eventually? Because what if she never gets the debt down? Then he's never gonna marry her. So it's like that's
Yeah.
crazy.
don't think that's crazy though. I think that's just right. And I think it's just right to set boundaries and create standards. And if she can't fill them, then she needs, because guess what? What it sounds like to me is, sounds like she wants to get married and he want to marry her, but he ain't really trying. And if it's something you want, then you need to, because we ain't never got to get married. That's been my mentality too. It was like, well, prenup. It's like, oh, what signing a prenup?
So you're
And, and,
painkiller.
and it's like this: if you're not signing the prenup, we don't have to get married. That's why I'll be so confused about these topics where this is something you want. I'm already milk. So it's
Well,
like, either you're going to do it or you're not going. Listen, no matter what, in relationships, there are things that men have 100% leverage on, and there are things that women have 100% leverage on. Women have 100% leverage when she decides she wants to have a child. I want kids. All I want. And if she don't want no kids, guess what? I won't be having no kids. And guess what? If she says, "Hey, listen, you want kids?" Because I'm not really pressed to have no kids, but if I'll have kids for you. But this is what I need. I need a helper or whatever the people that come and help in your
Nanny.
house,
A
whatever.
nanny.
Right.
Yeah.
I need a nanny. I need to be able to. I want to be off for the first 6 months. So maybe we can stack up some bread or 3 more, whatever. You see what I'm saying? But she got the leverage to set the bar. Like, hey, is this what you want? This is what I require. Or I just won't have no baby. It's simple. You see what I'm saying? And I'm like this. Hey, if you want to be married, this is what I require. You're going to sign it or you're not. And I think because a lot, and that's what I learned with, and I call them weak men too. You have to be okay with losing a woman. Like that has to be an option for you. Like if you are if you are not okay with losing the woman you love, then you are not going to be able to lead properly because you're going to always do things and fear that she may leave you. You see what I'm saying? It's like, no, you got to be able to set boundaries, and you got to be able to live with the fact that if she don't do it, she may leave, and then that's just gonna be what it is. You know what I mean? But if you are gonna always bend your fucking rules or whatever, bend your whatever, because you're worried that she may leave you, then you're a weak man. That's what I mean by that.
And that's what it looked like. Cause you are a man, so I would never say you're wrong. You feel me? I'm not a man, so I'm respecting your. I never looked at it from a man's point of view, and you're absolutely right. That's the whole point I'm making with what I do. Men get treated wrong for everything they do. Didn't we have this conversation about the sex offender registry for women lying?
Mm-hmm.
The woman, the man was knowing about her debts, and he saw her rack up 92 racks, or she just brought this upon him.
I see, and I don't have all of
Yeah, I
the
guess we
details.
all assume. Yeah, we
Yeah.
all assume she came in the relationship with the 90K.
I mean, she
We just
called
kind of
into
assume that.
a radio station asking how can she get out of 90K in debt in order to earn a wedding ring and financial trust of her partner before marriage. I'm sorry, because we got some new folks, so let me just tell them what we're talking about. Discussions with Dee Dee Parker. We're talking about a man who's refusing to propose to his girlfriend because she's 90K in debt. He's not saying he won't get married to her eventually. He just wants her to clear up her debt. He makes 250K. He's in no debt, and he pays all of the bills. Mama said he may not be willing to take on her debt. Credit cards are tricks. Mentality of a goddess said, and I'm a first generation born American. My elders were taught struggle and survival mode. I had to learn financial literacy as a young adult. I have a 17-year-old and I'm teaching him early. Effa said 100% mentality of a goddess. And she said if she never gets it together as a boy mom, next. I don't know. 90, like I said, 90K is that's a lot.
K is a little steep because you should never want to go into a marriage in debt. And so the question was, how can she get that ring? And I said the solution: tell that broad to go file bankruptcy, because in the meantime, his she shouldn't be allowed to spend no more money. That's just bottom line. He should be. If they need an accountant, get an accountant, because clearly she's not financially mature
No,
enough.
you need to control. I'm glad you said that. And this is always because I am always want to blame the man. I know you. Hold on. Listen up, mom. Listen up, mom. Oh, you're gonna like
Oh
this.
God.
You're gonna like this. I natural listen because when you're the leader and you're the alpha in the natural order, I always blame the man. If and for failures in the house, it's always the man's fault, in my opinion. But because I also believe he makes all the decisions too. See what I'm saying? So I'm gonna be looking at him like, well, how did she get a 90K? How did how did she get a 90K? Because how did you allow that to happen? You see how I always put it back on the man? See, but that only comes with a woman that fully submits. See, you can't say, oh no, I'm not. You can't be a 90K debt. Act like you want help from this man, and then when he says, "Okay, this is what we're gonna do. Well, give me your check. How much money do you make? We're gonna break down these finances. You're gonna send me this money, or we're gonna send this money to this account, or we're gonna do whatever." But he's gonna quarterback this, and then she say, "Oh no, I don't want to do that. I'm not a child," or this weird shit women say like, "Oh, I don't. I'm grown. I can do whatever, or whatever." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, then you need to go do that on your own." You see, it's real simple to me. It's either you gonna get in line and fall under my leadership, or because and we see what your leadership got you, right? So clearly, when you got your own life, got you in this situation. So it'd be so difficult for me to be like, hold on, I want to say, yeah, if I see a married man, they get put out their house. A lot of times, I'm always gonna be looking at the man like, okay, well, how did you allow this happen? Because I would great like authority or whatever you want to call it, then you also take all the blame. That's how I look at it. You also get all the blame. You have the final say and shit. You also get the blame.
I want to play devil's advocate for a second, because what if he does marry this woman and she is still not financially like responsible?
He's an idiot. He's an idiot, and it'll be his fault.
It will.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is she's cleared her debt but they get into this marriage, and then she accumulates more debt once she gets into the marriage.
Well, if he's a solid man, meaning like a good leader, he's supposed to set up things for these things not to happen again. Now, if she has what we call a problem, right? Like, because some people just have shopping and spending
Needs an
addiction,
allowance
right?
for
And he
certain
needs to create those type of things, and maybe she needs to go get some help,
I don't know.
order.
To
mental
me,
help.
isn't that if you can't manage your money, you racked up 90K in debt. That to me signals
If
flags. Like
you're,
you ain't very responsible with money. What you say,
that's
Helen Hurt?
I said, if you can't manage your finances, how would I trust you to manage mine?
Right.
So with me and my husband, he's the more responsible financially because he's very strict. I'm more lenient.
Mm-hmm.
So because we know that, you me with the account, you're gonna trust him. Because I'm gonna be like, oh, I want to go spend the money here, there, and not remembering, oh snap, we got bills over here that got to be
Yeah,
paid.
exactly.
Get in the moment of, oh, come on, kid, and not knowing the light bill need to be paid, the water bill needs to be paid. So my husband is very anal, and I love it. His discipline is what's needed because all the bills get paid on time.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. And guess what? If they didn't, would have blamed him like man to man. I would have been like, well, how did you go? My approach, if I was his friend or something, I would always be like, well, how did you allow this? It's like this put on the mirror. Especially if it's his wife. Long you 100% responsible for her now. That's
Mm-hmm.
how I view it. Well, this is my issue. How? That's why you gonna get with these rebellious women. Because if the answer is, man, she did the things I told her not to do. I'm gonna be like, you're not supposed to be with those type of women the women that don't listen to you. You know what I mean? That can put you in such a
It's
detrimental situation.
to live on the rooftop before dealing with a woman like that. It tells you that in the Bible, a lot of stuff. Adam got kicked out of the Garden of Eden because Eve disobeyed God because Adam didn't put the foot down and say, hey, do not, he should have every day told her, don't touch that tree, don't
Yeah.
touch that. But instead, he trusted that she knew and somebody came in her ear. That's our common modern time today. The Bible say don't let nobody come between your marriage. So if we allow people, places, or things to come into our marriage, we disobey God in it.
Yeah.
That girl, she's not a woman yet, because if she wants a man to marry her, marriage is a serious business. It's
Yeah.
not a business in the aspect of business, it's in a business of handling your business. A lot of people don't handle their own business but want a man to ask for your hand in marriage. But if they only knew what a wife's duty is, it's not to be fed grapes and stuff. I don't get why females think that's what a wife's duty is.
Yeah.
And that's where we fail God every single day. Because that woman should not want a man to take her debt on. She should be the one trying to help him not have debt to make sure, because it's a family. My
Yeah.
parents had 9 children, Dee Dee. Girl, do you know how hard it is to take care of one kid?
But I want to go back to your story though, Healing Hurt Men's Ministry, because I mean your husband had the student loan debt and you were willing to accept it. So are you I mean, I guess I'm confused on what you're saying because you were willing to accept it, but you're saying he should be willing to accept it. I guess I'm asking.
I'm saying if he loves that woman, her debt, whether it's surprised or in front of you, if this is who you want to marry, you're going to teach her right, the right
Okay.
way. You're going to teach her why money shouldn't be just spent. Because some people, Dee Dee, don't know. Because they watched a bad habit in front of them and said, well, my mom always did this or my grandma always did that. And the husband's job is to guide her in the right path so that she don't make those foolish mistakes. As a single woman, she's now understanding what her duty is as a wife. A wife's job is to, if we read the Bible, Proverbs 31 tell you that woman was up before the sun. She was doing stuff. And when y'all want to talk about Boaz, it was Ruth who was in the field working. So again, when we want to read the word to compare us to the women of today, these women don't match the Bible days. They are different kind of breed, but they want the men of the Bible days, meaning the Boazes. They want the King David, but they're not doing the work of God. They're wanting the money and getting in debt. What does she do with that money?
Right. Mentality of a goddess said 90K is a house, a whole investment property. Child. Mama said anyone could get into financial issues at any given day. She could have lost a job or some other issues beyond her control. Facts.
Right.
Mentality of a goddess said that's true, but after several years of not paying bills, you should have a good chunk of that debt paid off, especially if he's paying all the bills. A mentality of a goddess said, listen, let me be blessed with a man who pay all my bills. My money will clear all debts and start a savings for our family. I wouldn't know what to do with myself. I'd be the best wife alive. I know that's right. All the
That,
bills you need, you pay all the bills. That's a good man, Savannah. Good man, right there.
but that's what it's supposed to have been like because that's what it was like. We wanted to be the men in the family. We wanted to tell everybody what to do in the family, and we got confused in it. Now we 92,000 in debt in it, and we want a husband, but he's saying, "Girl, get that down, and I'll give you a ring."
Let me ask you a question, Healing Hurt Men's Ministry. Now, what if the roles were reversed? Because, like I said, there are some women that said they wouldn't do it. Would you be saying the same thing that this woman should ride with this man and his $90,000 debt if she loves him?
Either way, there's no gender role on it. It's
Okay.
down to the very end. Y'all ride or dies, meaning we help each other. If it was me and you as a friendship, Dee Dee, and you say you were 90,000 in debt, I'm gonna say, Dee Dee, I'm gonna help you get out of that debt by telling you what I would do as a friend. This is the
Okay.
thing in the marriage. You should never look at it like it's I gotta. It sounds like a burden. You feel what I'm saying? A marriage should never sound like a burden. It should sound like you want to help this person that you say you love. So in the beginning, when my debt came from my husband's loan,
Yeah.
he had an earful of my because I was
It's okay. You were frustrated.
I'm human. I was
Yeah.
planning to get some furniture. We just moved here. I was just trying to do right by my husband and my family, just doing the wifely thing. And that was God testing us in it because eventually we did get furniture. Eventually we did get the essentials we needed. So it all worked out. And 15 years later, it's still working out because God is in the midst of it. But when we let the money be in the midst of it, that's where we get bad in it because money should never come in between anybody. And
Okay.
that's the truth in it. So if
Okay. One last question, because they're not married yet, though.
that's what I'm saying. If this is the start of their marriage, money issues, what you think gonna be the reason why they gone divorce?
Money, which
So
is
whatever,
one which is number one or two, depending on whose list, sex and money.
because it's the thing, Dee Dee. Me and you are about to be gazillionaires in what we're about to do. But I'm
Like,
not going to be like Oprah and say, now my husband, I tell him what to do. No, he's still the man, the head of the house.
yeah,
And he's in charge of the finances, which means I'm not, it's not my money, it's our money
right,
because how we work. When we feel like we're more than something, that's where we fail. If it was on the other way around, we would be hooping and hollering like that man ain't it. He's this, that, and the other. You see how we can always, it's wrong how we do it, and we have to stop. So, my advice to that couple, 15 years experience, tell her to file for bankruptcy so she can get a clean state before she gets into that union. Because if she really loves that man, why would you then he walked on with no debt? So if she loves him, she ain't gonna get back into that debt. But if she loves herself, she won't put herself in debt again anyway because now you're not just thinking about me. You gotta think about the other person too. So that's what marriage look like, Didi. You think, would I want this done to me? Because she wouldn't want 90,000 thrown upon her.
Right.
So
Nobody
we got
would. Yeesh.
no. So we got to understand. She has to ask herself that question. But if that man loves her, debt or no debt, you want to marry her. Because what if somebody come and swoop her up and say, "I'm pay your debt," and now you lost your woman?
Wait a minute now. Wait a minute now. Wait a minute, Healing Her. I'm just
I
saying.
reckon if
Wait,
you got
it ain't tricking if you got it. I'm just saying somebody might do it. All right.
somebody got it,
Let's
that's nothing to me. And
that's
if
nothing. All right,
you
let's
just
drop some final thoughts. Healing Her, do you have a final message for us before we get out of here?
my final message is don't marry for money, marry for love. And if you love a person, the debt is probably the least worry because the mental is what y'all should be focused on.
Yeah. Mentality of a goddess said if that happens, she doesn't love him for the right reasons.
Yes,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. My final thought is, I mean, I ain't mad at this man for putting it on ice. Like, clear up your debts. Don't bring me no debts, okay? We debt free over here. So yeah, please keep them debts to yourself. Keep them over there. So that's my final message. Thank you, Healing Hurt Men's Ministry, for joining. Make sure y'all follow her if you haven't. She's doing
I love
great work and about to do some amazing things. So, yep. FA, appreciate you. Clean. What happened? You missed it today. We're back tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow, 2:30. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.